All right.
It's a hard subject right here.
It is a tough one to talk about. The Rays just went down 2-0. Right, I think our mission is to capture the depression of the Tampa Bay area and bottle it up. Save it.
Yeah.
I don't know why we want to do that.
It's on the shelf right behind us.
Don't know why we want to do that at all. But I just feel like, I just feel like even at work today, being a place where normally you see a lot of Rays fans, it was just long faces on people, and it just was not. It's just not good. The city needs a pick me up after that, and you always want to be optimistic going to playoffs, which is why I never said anything. But you're right. We all saw this coming, and I'm just gonna just to lay some numbers on people. If you didn't see this coming, like if you hadn't been paying attention, if you've been paying attention to the Rays over the last few weeks of the season, you kind of knew.
Yeah, watching ESPN, they didn't really talk about it too much because they were winning and keeping pace with the Yankees, but the way they were winning wasn't impressive. Go over it, Rob. What is it?
Well, the last 8 games of the season, they were 3-5. So it's not like they were on an 8-game losing streak. But 3-5 is not good, and it was against not good teams.
They scored a lot of runs though.
Yes, they did. They scored 16 runs in their last 8 games, and as a team, batted 165 as a team over the last 8 games with a 232 on base percentage and a 272 slugging percentage in the last 8 games of the season. I mean, I could go back further and stretch it out, but I think this little last 8-game stretch would tell us all we need to know against Seattle, Baltimore, and Kansas City. Luke French, Brian Mattis, Brad Bergeson, Kevin Millwood, Zach Greinke, Bruce Chen, Kyle Davies, and Sean O'Sullivan. Against those 8 incredible all-star starting pitchers,
wow,
they hit 165 and slugged 272 with an OPS of 504. I mean, if you didn't see this coming, then you hadn't been paying attention to what the Rays had been doing, at the end of the season. I mean, it's one thing to hope. The only glimmer of hope for the offense was the fact that Longoria had not been playing, but him coming back into the lineup but wasn't able to do the trick either.
In the first inning yesterday against Cliff Lee, it was, it's you see him and Longoria gets the base hit, and you got a guy that was bases loaded, 1 out, and he gets out of the jam. You can say what you want about the call with Pena and him getting hit, whatever.
It's excuses.
But yeah,
losing teams make excuses, and that's an excuse.
Pena gets rung up looking, and then Shopik is who's next? Doesn't he get swing out? It wasn't Shopik. It's Zobrist. Yeah, he strikes out, and then after that, as a Rays fan, how are you not thinking that's the only opportunity we're getting against Cliff Lee in this entire game to chase to even get any remote runs against them?
They got
how good he's been. I know that the Rays have a winning record against him this year, and they've hit him around the ballpark. But even the last game at the Trop, he didn't let up. I don't think he let up, but he let up 1 run in 6, and then the 7th inning, that's when they broke through. But Cliff Lee is too good of a pitcher to give him bases loaded, 1 out, and not score at least 1 run. And the Rays, they did it today too. They're looking at pitches go by. Yeah. Swing the ball. Put the ball in play. If you have a man on second with no outs, when Zobrist had a leadoff single. Leadoff double, yeah. How are you not...
Shopik on deck. Shopik comes up.
How are you not advancing him over and making a sac fly to manufacture a run there?
Joe Madden,
it doesn't make any sense to me.
Right? You've seen the fact that your team has scored 16 runs in 2 games.
A lot of it has to do with people knowing how to play against them, too. Taking advantage of the fact, just like I said... In the first game of the series, yesterday, I said the biggest part of the game was when they had Carl Crawford up against Darren Oliver in the 8th, man on second, no outs, down 5-1. And he rips one, but it's right at someone. He gets out. If that falls in, that would have been one of their only good opportunities because there's only certain times that people come through the lineup and they're able to hit. Like early on, they're threatening with the bases loaded. Carl's Pena at the plate, 1 out. You're not and you don't get anything in. Because that's exactly who the other team wants up in that spot.
Yeah.
They're able to pitch around a guy here or there and, get 1 out, and then all of a sudden they have you in the spot that they want you to get out of a jam. Carlos Pena at the plate. And he's batting 5th.
When you're
batting 5th in the lineup, the guy's batting 196. I'm sorry.
It's not.
not doing the sack bunting with Kelly shopping at the plate. Man on second, nobody out.
Yeah, that was an.
He's batting 196.
Inexcusable to me. I'm sorry.
You don't let these guys swing away. It's just
right. That's what I'm saying. I agree with that. Batting 196, not in, and you have to take in addition the fact that you have these numbers in front of you that I just said about the fact that your team scored 16 runs in the last 8 games. You're not going to pile up a bunch of runs and play for the big inning against Cliff Lee. Play to get the 1 run in. At that point, there's no score in the game. Play to get the lead. You got to bump with Shopping right there. I mean, it's like a must. And in the first inning, I almost would have. I think the very first inning, Jason Bartlett led off, got on base with a base hit to right field. The very first inning, first batter of the game, and Upton came up next. Bunt, for the love of God, bunt. B.J. Upton is not you. You think B.J. Upton is a get the runner over kind of guy? Have you watched him play the last 3 years? He's not moving station to state. He's not going to do that. Have those types of at-bats unless you bunt. I know it's not in the Rays style. They've never been a bunting team. They don't sack bunt because they believe in stealing bases. I can understand that. I'd rather steal the base than bunt. But
they didn't even try to steal though, so you can't even use that as an argument. So you do one of the two. You have to, because as abysmal as your offense has been going into the playoffs, you have to just find a way to score 1 or 2 runs when you have the chance, especially against Cliff Lee.
Especially against Cliff Lee, you have a chance to get a lead too.
Against Cliff Lee, the quicker you get him out of the game, because the last thing that they wanted to see was Cliff Lee go 7-8 innings and then see Neftali Feliz close it out in the 9th, because and you saw he blew the Rays away. And I've never seen a team strike out the way the Rays do. In the worst opportunities that they could strike out in, they strike out.
Right.
And it's not like they're going down like it's 1 out, men on, and the next 2 batters strike out both. They don't even put the ball in play. They don't even get a sac fly. They don't even get a chance to for someone to make a mistake to even put the ball in play.
They don't give themselves a chance to score runs.
They're striking out at stupid pitches out of the zone, and it doesn't make any sense to me.
Should we talk about other mistakes that Madden's made?
I was just about to get to that point.
It's just it's mind-boggling, Rob.
I know. I can't say that I've sat here all season and defended Joe Madden in the face of constant criticism from Steve Dumig all year. And Dumig's not the only radio person that's rode Madden's ass all season and criticized every move he made. These are possibly the 2 worst managed games that I've ever seen Joe Madden manage as a member of the Rays.
Rob, you see them, but you just ignore them because they're in the regular season, and you say, "Oh, he's doing such a good job with the team overall."
But the calls he made were working.
He does these things all the time. Well, you don't realize, Joe Madden, he'll lose a couple games during the regular season for his team. Like we're just making stupid calls, and he does it. He does these things, and people just write it off because they have such a good team, and we have to give them credit for that. There aren't many decisions that a manager has to make on the field in the game that really affect the outcome of the game, other than taking the pitcher out at the right time, picking the right pitcher to come in, and maybe a pinch hit or a hit and run here and there. There's maybe 1 or 2 a game. You only make very few decisions, so to cost your team games or even runs is big.
Yeah,
and I think he does that just as much, if not more, than over the past couple years as any manager in the league. But granted, the results he's gotten out of his team are remarkable. But
hold that thought for a second.